Alright, Dr. Shankopotamus here again. Working on the, get it up here gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, KLX140. We're going to change the oil today on the KLX140 and get it cleaned up and ready to sell. It's getting too little for the kids to ride, and so we're going to clean it all up. Cleaned up mostly pretty well, but we're going to change up, put a new oil filter and oil in here, show you guys how this works. So first thing you want to do, get it up off the ground here and level. Doing it on the kickstand, it's not going to be level. You might not get all of the oil drained out of the plug here, and to get the oil filter out. And anyway, just good to have it level. So I've got it on my lift here, and you can see it's a regular kind of car lift up. Sorry for painting so quickly, but anyway, regular kind of bent back car lift, so it can more than handle the weight of the bike. It's not real stable. Okay, you don't want to be wrenching around in this. If you want to wrench around, you want to get something to secure it, and I've got some clamps I can clamp it down with. But here we're just going to be draining the oil out of it and replacing the oil filter. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. All right, here looking at the left-hand side of the engine. Here's your oil drain plug. Takes a 17mm socket. I'll put a little wobble on here. Not that you need wobble, just for a little bit of extension to get past the bar here that protects it. See if we can maybe zoom in a little bit, and I'll show you right up in there. So this little bolt right here is what you're after. So we're going to pop that off and go ahead and start getting the oil out. Okay, so we're going to hold this thing with our 17 here. That's my neighbor using the Husqvarna chainsaw that you saw me put a video on how to change the chain on. Hopefully that noise is not too much. Once you get it loosened up, of course you need a pan, alright? You don't want to be having this stuff go all over creation here. And I've got a mat down. You can't tell below. We'll see it here in just a little bit. But just get it started. And then we're going to take it on off. There we go, perfect. And you see it's got a metal washer on here. You want to replace that metal compression washer. Alright, every time that you change it. That's the plan. It's using an aluminum washer. Even though it looks completely fine, it actually compresses just a little bit when you tighten it down to change the oil. Set this down here. And so you want to make sure that you change that out. And I've got keep several of those handy with all the vehicles and everything that I have. And I'll go grab one that'll fit this and we'll swap it out. So we'll let the oil run out. Be back in just a minute. Clean some of this oil off where it's dripping a little bit. Get our bolt back on. Oops, nice clean washer. Here we go. And tighten it down. You know, I'm a big proponent of using the torque wrench. You've seen my other videos. I say it's a must. So I've got my torque wrench. Let's get this up here. Where'd it go? Ta-da! I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of blurry. Anyway, put it there. Way back there. Anyway, it's set to 13 foot-pounds is what you're after. 13 foot-pounds for this particular little bad boy. And just get it on here. And just like always, we go until we click. I'm going to hold the bike a little bit. There you go. 13 is not much. You heard that click? 13 is not much at all. It's just a little beyond hand tightening, actually. So that's on. Now we're going to go around and check the other side and get the filter off. Okay, so when you're looking at the bike, right hand side, if you're sitting on the bike, your oil drain plug is on the left where we were just working. Your cover for your oil filter is right here on the right hand side underneath this little puppy right here. Let me show you. It's not a very big filter. We'll go over here and see. Beekeeper. If you want any honey, timberwoodsfarm.com. I don't have much. You to sell all of it. I only have 11 hives, but I do sell it. Yeah. Should have a little bit more here in a few weeks. anyhow, this is the filter, little K&N filter. It's not a very big filter that's in there, but putting a nice clean new filter onto it before I sell it. See that little puppy? This doesn't cost much, and it really helps with the sale value. So let me get this off. 8mm. Let me use that here just a little bit. 8mm wrench we're going to be using to get these little puppies off. I'll go ahead and get a hold of them. And it's got a spring behind it. Okay. Be really careful you don't lose the spring. Let's pull it off. Okay. Little spring on the front. I'm sorry, the front of it. That's where the little spring is. Let me just get this up here. See, can you see this? There you go. Here it is. And it's got a little spring there in the middle. Got the seal around the side of it. You want to make sure you get the seal in the right place. Make sure your seal is still in good shape. This bike's not that old. This seal's in great shape. Looks to be. If you've got one, it might be easy to just replace the seal, just to be sure, because it's already been compressed. I didn't see anything in the manual that says you got to replace the seal every single time, but if you've got one, it might not be a bad idea. And then this little puppy just comes right on out. Very easy. There she is. Not too dirty at all. Actually looks pretty good. The oil in there actually looks pretty good too. It really hasn't been through too many hours just yet. Just didn't get ridden a whole lot by the kids. Mostly we're riding the four-wheelers around, and still do. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and chuck this one. And look, the filter's got two sides. Okay. Whoops, let's get it on camera here. Okay. Yeah, there you go. On camera here. This end goes into the bike. It's got a little seal there on it. And this end is the end that's out. Okay. So you slide this in. Alright, so we'll get this top on. I just went and double check the manual, and actually it does say replace this seal only if it's damaged. And this one, no damage here. This thing looks great. It's a little odd though. It seems to fit a little bit big. Kind of unusual. I'm sure once I get it into here, I got an idea how to get it in there, but this is the one that came on the bike. You can see how it fits. That's almost like it's a little oversized. So I'm going to get it cleaned off, and I'm assuming all of them are like this. Got an idea for a little trick on how to make sure this thing fits. Give me just a second. Okay, so let me show you the seal. It is a little oversized. I mean, it's kind of a pain in the fanny, to tell you the truth. But if you just gradually work it in all the way around, you can work it in and get it to stick to the sides and stay in. All right, so that's probably the best way to get this thing on, is work that seal into here first and get it where it's stuck on there like this one is. If I touch this thing again at all and show you, it's probably going to pop back out. Heck, it may pop back out when I put it back on. It's kind of difficult to get it to sit just right, but I did manage to get it to sit just right. I'm going to turn this over, put it back on. So, for better or for worse, here we go. I'm going to start off going straight in. Oh, let me get the arrow in the right place. See, there's an arrow here on the back. Your arrow's going up. There we go. And then we're lined up properly. Try not to knock or move around that that O-ring on there. Okay, because it is a little, that O-ring is a little bit of a booger, I'll tell you. But I think once I've got him on, like I do now, I'm hopeful it's going to be okay. Trying to line this other screw up just a little bit blind here, actually. You can feel it. Don't want it to strip as it goes in. Yeah, it feels pretty good. And now that spring is holding it up, just double check the seal. I can look from behind until the seal is still on there. Just like it needs to be. And so we're going to go with screwing this down a little bit at a time on each side. Then I'm going to go back and double check my torque on this. So I recall the torque on this is not very much. But I will double check it for y'all before we tighten it down. It looks like this is going to work. As we come on down, keep checking and make sure your O-ring does not come loose. If it loosens up too much, actually, you'll see it pop out of the side there. But I think once you've got it stuck in there pretty good like I had it, my hope is it's going to stay in there all the way down. And then we'll be golden. Just about there. Look down inside and be sure you're still not popping that O-ring out. Bring it in just a little bit at a time. So you're bringing it in as straight and flat as you can going up against there. Don't give that O-ring a chance to even pop out. And it looks like he's in. We're in. So let me check the torque and we'll torque it down. Okay, so the torque on these little guys is only 8.8 Newton meters. So I've gone old school on us because my torque wrenches just don't go that low. This one's a little different torque wrench I've seen before. Most people don't use one like this. It's just, that's your torquing. It's really hard to tell. Even on this one, you can see that you just barely edge it and you're up to 10. So it's not, these things are not torqued down much at all, but be really careful. You don't want to torque it too far and end up destroying that O-ring that you work so hard to get into place and get on here right. Okay, good. And if you haven't seen one like this, I can show you how one like this works. I know you were looking at the screw itself. Let me show you how it works off of the torque to measure the torque. So on this one here, if it'll focus, we are looking at the torque numbers right there. And as you come across, it begins to move up the scale. See that? Now we're getting close to where we need to be. Newton meters is there on the bottom. Whoops. Oh, come on, autofocus. Newton meters there on the bottom. They're right about 5. A little bit further. A little bit further, and you watch that move over. So it's not as precise as some of the newer ones, but this is really old school for you. And that gets us close to 8.8 right there. Okay, so the last thing to do here is get the oil in. Lift off our access here. And it's conveniently when you replace the filter with a new filter, it takes exactly 1 quart of 10W40. So pretty easy to do. You just throw down 1 quart of 10W40 here. And then we're going to start it up, make sure we don't have any leaks anywhere. Make sure we're not leaking around our plug, drain plug down there. Make sure we're not leaking around our filter. Alrighty. So we're on there. Tightened up. Let's move this pan. Get our, make sure the kickstand's down. And then I'm going to drop our lift. It just comes straight on down. And not on over, let's just make sure she starts up and runs fine. A little bit of choke.